Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series 6-inch scale Midas, and this is the shadow version. This guy's in all black and has a gold head and arms, a little bit different than the standard Midas. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see at the top, Epic Games, Fortnite Legendary Series, ages 8+, Midas, Shadow, 38 points for articulation, 8 pieces. Here he is in the package. Looks like he has 2 alternate faces, totaling 3 faceplates, a pickaxe, 3 different guns, and his back bling. One side, he's just standing there. Same thing on the other side. At the bottom, there's a bunch of credits, and there's a barcode in case that helps anybody. And then the back, here he is standing there, says, "All that glitters is yours." And here are a bunch of other Jazwares Fortnite figures you should check out. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with some gold dipped weapons, a pistol, a minigun, and a drum gun. He also comes with 2 alternate face plates, totaling 3 different faces for this guy. He also has the Gold King harvesting tool and the gold dagger back bling. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So here's Midas, gold skin, black outfit, looking pretty cool. I love suited figures, so this guy's very cool, right up my alley. He's got 2 permanently attached gold, what looks like revolvers in his holsters on his chest. He's got some gold capsules on his side here. You can see a little strap hanging down, another little pouch on this side, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. He looks pretty cool. I'm very happy they finally made a Midas. I could see them possibly making a couple different variations of this guy, and frankly, I hope they do. I would love to see some shadow henchmen to go with that guy. That would be pretty cool. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's take a look at his accessories. And let's start off with his faces. He has 3 different faces. The first one has some flesh color to it and just a hint of gold. And that one looks to be a little bit angry. I see some teeth. The second one and third one are pure gold. The second one seems to have a normal expression. And the third one looks to have a surprised or scared expression on his face. Here he is with his first face. And this is probably my favorite face he comes with. He has a hint of gold. It looks like a scar going through his eye. And he looks kind of angry. And here's his second face. This one is pure gold and will match the rest of his head and arms a little better. This one has a pretty normal standard expression. And then here's his third face. This one has a shocked or scared expression. This is what it looks like when you're playing a squad game and all 3 of your teammates go down and it's you against 4 players. Now let's check out his back bling. This is called Gold Dagger. It's essentially a satchel with a gold dagger through the side. Overall, looks pretty good, a little bland, a little basic. On the back, it's got the peg that'll go into the peg hole so we can wear it on his back. And here he is wearing his back bling. Can't tell too much from the front, but if you spin him around. And here are several different Jazwares figures wearing each other's back blings, showing you they are interchangeable between the entire Jazwares line. And unfortunately, if you were to take a Jazwares Fortnite figure and a McFarlane Fortnite figure, their back blings are not interchangeable. They do connect the same way through a peg into the peg hole in their back, but the thickness is different. Take this Jazwares figure, take a McFarlane back bling, sure it'll fit in, but the peg is so thin it'll fall right back out. And in turn, if you were to take a McFarlane figure and a Jazwares back bling, the peg is too thick, you'll never get it in there. Now let's check out his harvesting tool, or more commonly referred to as a pickaxe. This is called the Gold King. Very appropriate for Midas, gold, got a little chain hanging in the back. Handle's wooden, got some gold highlights on it. Here he is holding his pickaxe, and as he hears a noise behind him, he decides to chop through the doorway and see if there's a chest. And just like he thought, there was a chest behind the doorway. And as he opens up the chest, he got himself a scar, some grenades, and a medkit. And here are several different Jazwares figures holding each other's pickaxes, showing you they are interchangeable between each of the Jazwares figures. And then, here are some Jazwares figures holding some McFarlane pickaxes, and some McFarlane figures holding some Jazwares pickaxes, showing you they are interchangeable between both lines. Now let's look at his guns. He comes with 3 of them: the drum gun, the minigun, and a pistol. These guns are all gold dipped. At one point, the Midas skin had the ability to turn guns into gold. I always found that a little bit annoying. I'd find a bunch of loot and think I found a bunch of excellent guns, and turn out they're all either common or uncommon. Here's his drum gun next to a standard Jazwares drum gun. It's the exact same mold, just painted gold. And here it is next to a McFarlane drum gun. Here he is holding his drum gun, pointing it right at you. Now let's look at his minigun. This thing is also completely painted in gold. Blank on one side. On the other side, it says Hasta la Vista. Here it is next to a couple of other Jazwares miniguns. And here it is next to the McFarlane version of the minigun. And here he is holding the minigun. Now let's look at his pistol. It's also colored in gold, one of the most common guns in the game. And here are all the different pistols that Jazwares has made so far in their legendary line. And here it is next to all the different pistols McFarlane has made in their Fortnite line. And here he is holding the pistol. And if you wanted him to, he could sure hold more than one of the guns at the same time. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at Midas and his accessories, now let's check out some other accessories and vehicles you can use to enhance your Fortnite collection. Here he is driving the McFarlane Quad Crasher. This Quad Crasher is intended for 7-inch scale figures, but works pretty good for the 6-inch Jazwares figures. And here he is riding on the back of the Quad Crasher. And here he is being pushed around in a McFarlane shopping cart. And then pushing around another figure with the cart. Now let's see how he stacks up next to McFarlane's glider and launchpad combo set. Here he is next to it fully assembled. And here he is getting ready to jump off and launch away. And here he is riding on the McFarlane glider. Even though it's a little big for him, he looks pretty cool with it. Here he is next to a treasure chest. This treasure chest is actually intended for the smaller 4-inch scale Jazwares figures. And you may think to yourself, how could it possibly be for the smaller figures if it's too large for the 6-inch figures? Well, this was not actually an in-scale accessory. It was a sort of an accessory pack. You'd buy this chest, open it up, it'd come with a few guns and some building material. Since chests are such a big part of the game, I was happy to have some kind of a treasure chest that's at least sort of in scale with these guys. And here he is, opening a loot llama. Obviously this loot llama is not from Jazwares or McFarlane, as it's just a stuffed animal. But because llamas have become sort of a staple in the game, I was happy to have one, even if it's a little bit too large for the figures. And here he is, with a whole bunch of other accessories that came with some other Jazwares Fortnite figures. Then, holding a can of spray paint, getting ready to tag the wall behind him. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, and some other accessories you can use to enhance this figure, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top, he's sitting at about 6.1 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 15.5 centimeters. Now I love these Jazwares Fortnite figures. They're really fun and really cool. I just wish they were a little bit taller. This guy, overall, his body proportions seem a little small, but he's a really cool figure nonetheless. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up that far, down that far. Very impressive there. Can't tilt his head from side to side at all. Shoulders on a ball joint. You can go out more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. Mine is pretty tight. He does have a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Just increasing the range of motion, but not by much. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. His wrist, it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. He has a finger articulation, which I have mixed feelings on. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate around, can also go forward and back. Legs go out about this far, ball joints, then go forward about that far, back, pretty much not at all. He's got a thigh cut, double jointed knees. That his ankle here, it has a ball, it can go up and down, it can rotate, can tilt and rock a little bit as well, and there's toe articulation. Now let's check them out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Fortnite figures. Here he is next to the most recent Jazwares Fortnite figures that I've gotten, and there are more to come. And here he is next to a couple of the larger Jazwares figures. These are part of the Brawler series. I'm struggling trying to get Kid on Amazon. I keep missing him by just a few minutes. These guys are more or less the McFarlane scale size, and I think that's really cool, bridging the gap between the two lines. Here are all the different suited figures that Jazwares has made in their Fortnite line. And here's my entire Jazwares Fortnite collection. I believe I have all the figures except for Recruit Jonesy, Kid, and Dark Voyager. And here he is next to the entire McFarlane Fortnite collection. And here are all the Fortnite figures that I bought multiples of. You may ask yourself, why so many? Well, I got all 4 different versions of the wild card to make a Royal Flush Gang for my DC action figures. I got 4 of each of the Skull Trooper releases to use as Scarecrow henchmen in my Batman world. And then I got 2 crack shots for Toyman henchmen in my DC action figure world, and 4 Rabbit Raiders and 4 Night Hares for my Header henchmen in my Batman world. A lot of different diverse uses for these Fortnite figures. And here he is in a huge battle royale with all my Fortnite figures. As you can see, they're shooting each other, they're driving, launching explosives, sniping, healing, gliding, getting loot, trying to see who can get the most kills, and more importantly, who can get the win. And he's got the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. Even Deathstroke and Batman here. And now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since these Jazwares Fortnite figures are some of the smallest figures I collect, I'm going to start my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines and work my way larger. Here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And now let's check him out next to some of his Jazwares brothers. Here he is, next to some Jazwares All Elite wrestling figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, next to some McFarlane toys. And finally, here he is next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. So overall, this is a pretty cool figure. His articulation is good, his accessories are good, his sculpt is a little bit soft, but it gets the job done. My only real complaint about this guy is he's so short, so small. I love the Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series, but I just wish they were a little bit bigger. They're pretty much the smallest action figure line that I collect. This guy's going to be great for Midas from Fortnite. He could be a unique Batman villain for Batman to take down. I hope they make the standard Midas, not the Shadow version. That would be really cool. Overall, if I were to rate this guy, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. He's a very nice figure. I'm enjoying him a lot. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.